I must to England, you know that.
Alas, I had forgot 'tis concluded on.
This man shall set me packing. I'll lug the guts into the neighboring room. Mother, good night. Indeed, this counselor is now most still, most secret, and most grave. That was in life a foolish, prating knave. Come, son. Draw toward an end with you. Good night.
Oh, my good Lord, what have I seen tonight?
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Mad as the sea and wind when both contend, which is the mightier. In his lawless fit behind the arras hearing something stir, whips out his rapier, cries, a rat, and in this brainish apprehension, kills the unseen good old man.
Oh, heavy deed. It had been so with us had we been there. His liberty is full of threats to all, to you yourself, to us, to everyone. But how shall this bloody deed be answered? It will be laid to us, whose providence should have kept short, restrained and out of haunt this mad young man. But so much was our love that we would not understand what was most fit, but like the owner of a foul disease, to keep it from divulging, let it feed, even on the pith of life. Where is he gone?
To draw apart the body he hath killed, o'er whom his very madness, like some ore among a mineral of metal base, shows itself pure. He weeps for what is done.
Oh, Gertrude, come away. The sun no sooner shall the mountains touch, but we will ship him hence. And this vile deed we must, with all our majesty and skill, both countenance and excuse. Oh, Guildenstern! Friends both, we'll join you with some further aid. Hamlet in madness hath Polonius slain, and from his mother's closet hath he dragged him. Go seek him out, speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel. I pray you hasten this. Come, Gertrude. We'll call up our wisest friends. Tell them both what we mean to do and what's untimely done. So haply slander, whose whisper o'er the world's diameter, as level as the cannon to his blank, transports its poisoned shot, may miss our name and hit the woundless air. What hath befallen?
Where the dead body is bestowed, my lord, we cannot get from.
Where is he?
Without, my lord, guarded to know your pleasure.
Bring him before us!
Oh, Guildenstern, bring in my lord.
And now, Hamlet, where is Polonius?
At supper.
At supper. Where?
Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. A certain convocation of politic worms are eaten at him. Your worm is your only emperor for diet. We fed all creatures else to fat us, and we fed ourselves for maggots. Your fat king and your lean beggar is but variable service. 2 dishes but to 1 table, that's the end.
Alas. Alas.
A man may fish with a worm that hath eat of a king, and eat of that fish that hath fed on that worm.
What dost thou mean by this?
Nothing. But to show you how a king may go a progress with the guts of a beggar.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven, send thither to see. If your messenger find him not there, seek him in the other place yourself. But indeed, if you find him not within this month, you shall nose him as you go up the stairs into the lobby.
Go seek him there.
He will stay till you come.
Hamlet, this deed, for thine especial safety, which we do tender, as we dearly grieve for that which thou hast done, must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare thyself. The bark is ready and the wind at help. The associates tend, and everything is bent for England.
For England.
I, Hamlet,
Good.
So it is, if thou knewest our purposes.
I see a cherub that sees them. But come, for England. Farewell, dear mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
My mother. Mother and father is man and wife. Man and wife is one flesh, and so my mother. But come, for England.
Follow him at foot. Tempt him with speed aboard. Delay it not. I'll have him hence tonight. Away! For everything is sealed and done that else leads on the affair. I pray you haste in this. And England, if my love thou hold'st at aught, as my great power thereof gives thee sense, since yet thy cicatrice looks raw and red after the Danish sword, and thy free arm pays homage to us, thou mayest not coldly set our sovereign process, which imports at full with letters contrary to the effect, the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England, for like the hectic in my blood he rages, and thou must cure me, for till I know 'tis done, howe'er my haps, my joys were ne'er begun.
From me, greet the Danish king. Tell him that by his license, Fortinbras claims the conveyance of a promised martyr with his kingdom. If that his majesty will talk with us, we shall express our duty in his eye and let him know so.
I will do it, my lord.
Go safely on.
Indeed, distract. Her mood will needs be pitied.
What would she have?
She speaks much of her father. Says she hears there's tricks in the world, and hymns and beats her heart. Spurns enviously at straws, speaks things in doubt that carry but half sin.
For good she was spoken with, for she may strew dangerous conjectures in ill-breeding minds. Let her come in. To my sick soul, as sin's true nature is, each toy seems prologue to some great amiss. So full of artless jealousy is guilt, it spills itself in fearing to be spilt. Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark? How now, Ophelia?
How shall I your true love know from another one? By his cockle hat and staff, and his sandal shoe.
Alas, sweet lady, what imports this song?
Say you, nay, pray you, mark. He is dead and gone, lady. He is dead and gone. At his head a grass-green turf, at his heels a stone.
Nay, but Ophelia.
Pray you, mark! Whitish round as the mountain snow, larded with sweet flowers,
Alas,
which
look here, my
went
lord.
to the grave did go, with true love showers.
How do you, pretty lady?
Well, God help you. They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but we know not what we may be.
Conceit upon her father's.
Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day. All in the morning betime, and I am made at your window to be your Valentine. Then up he rose and donned his clothes, and up the chamber door, let in the maid that out of maid never parted more.
Pretty Ophelia.
15! Ah! Without her nose, I'll make an end of. Ah!
By juice and by sweet charity, lack and fine shame. Young men will do it if they come to it. By cock they are to blame. Quoth she, before you humbled me, you promised me to wed. He answers, so would I have done by yonder sun, and thou hadst not come to my bed.
How long has she been thus?
I hope all will be well. We must be patient. But I cannot choose but weep to think they should lay in the cold ground.
My brother shall know of it. And so, I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night. Good night.
Follow her close. Give her good watch, I pray you. Oh, this is the poison of deep grief. It springs all from her father's death. Gertrude. When sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. Poor Ophelia, divided from herself and her fair judgment, without the which we are pictures or mere beasts. Her brother is in secret come from France. Feeds on his wonder, keeps himself in clouds, and wants not buzzers to infect his ears with pestilent speeches of his father's death. Wherein necessity of matter beggared will nothing stick our person to arraign in ear and ear. Oh, my dear Gertrude, this, like a murdering piece in many places, gives me superfluous death. Where are my Switzers? Let them guard the doors. What is the matter?
Save yourself, my lord. The ocean overbearing of its mist, do not the fat more impetuous age. The young Laertes and rhymes said Lord bears your officer. The rabble call him Lord. Says the world now to begin antiquity, forgot custom not known. The rabble bars in every word. They cry, choose we, Laertes shall be king. The hands, captain tongues applaud to the clouds. Laertes shall be king, Laertes king.
How cheerful your false trail of blood. But this is Calvary who falls making dawn.
The doors are broken.
Give me my father!
Only good Laertes.
That drop of blood that's called proclaims me bastard. Christ corporal to my father. Brands the harlot even here between the chaste unsmirched brow of my true mother.
What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Let him go, Gertrude. Do not fear our person. There's such divinity doth hedge a king that treason can but peep to what it would. Acts little of his will. Tell me, Laertes, why thou art thus incensed? Let him go, Gertrude. Speak, man.
Where is my father?
Dead.
But not by him.
Let him demand his fill.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell allegiance, vows to the blackest devil, conscience and grace to the profoundest pit. I dare damnation, only I'll be revenged most truly for my father.
Who shall stay you?
My will, not all the world. And for my means, I'll husband them so well, they shall go far with little.
Good Laertes, if you desire to know the certainty of your father's death, is it great in your revenge that swoop stake you will draw, both friend and foe, winner and loser?
None but his enemies.
Will you know them then?
To his good friends. Thus wide I'll load my arms, and like the kind life-rendering pelican, repass them with my blood.
Why, now you speak like a good child, and a true gentleman. But I am guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensibly in grief for it. This shall is level to your judgment, peer, as day does to your eye.
Hold up! Let him come in! How now? What noise is that? Drive my brains.
7 times salt burn out the sense of virtue in mine eye. By heaven, thy matter shall be paid by weight till our scale turn the beam. Oh, Rose of May, dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia. Heavens, is it possible that a young maid's wit should be as mortal as an old man's life? Nature is fine in love, and where 'tis fine, it sends some precious instance of itself after the thing it loves.
They bore him bare-faced on the bier. Hey, hey, nani, nani, hey. And in his grave rained many a tear. Fare you well, my dove.
Thy wits and didst persuade revenge, it could not move thus.
You must sing. Down, down, and you call him a downer. Oh, how the wheel becomes it. It was false steward that stole his master's daughter.
This nothing's more than matter.
There is rosemary. That's for remembrance. Pray you, love. Remember. And there is pansies, that's for thoughts. And there is fennel for you, and columbines. And there is rue for you. And here's some for me. We may call it herb grace of Sundays. Oh, you must wear your rue with a difference. Daisy. I would give you violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say he made a good end. For my sweet Robin is all my joy.
Thought and affliction, passion, hell itself, she chose to favor and pity.
And will I not come again? And will I not come again? He is dead, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed. He will never come again. His beard was as white as snow. All flaxen was his home. He is gone. He is gone, and we cast away moan. God, have mercy on his soul. All Christian souls, I pray God. God be with you.
You see this, oh God?
Laertes, you must let me commune with your grief, for you deny me right.
Let this be so. His means of death, his obscure bedroom, no trophy sword, no hatchman o'er his bones, no noble right or formal ostentation, cry to be heard as 'twere from heaven to earth that I must call it in question.
So you shall. And where the offense is, let the great axe fall. Now must your conscience my acquittance seal, and you must take me in your heart for a friend, since you shall know that Hamlet, who hath your noble father slain, pursued my life.
And so have I a noble father lost. A sister driven into desperate terms, whose worth of praises may go back against a challenger on mount of all the age for her perfections. But my revenge will come.
Break not your sleeves for that. You must not think that we are made of stuff so flat and dull that we can let our beard be shook with danger and think it pastime. You shortly shall hear more. I love your father, and we love ourselves. And that, I hope, will teach you to imagine. Now, what news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet. This to your majesty, this to the queen.
From Hamlet. Who brought them?
Sailors, my lord.
Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us. High and mighty. You shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, first asking your pardon, thereunto recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet. What should this mean? Are all the rest come back, or is this some abuse and no such thing?
Know you the hand?
Now, 'tis Hamlet's character, naked. And in a postscript here he says, alone. Can you advise me?
I am lost in it, my lord. But let him come. It warms the very sickness in my heart, that I shall live and tell him to his teeth, thus didst thou.
If this be so, Laertes, will you be ruled by me?
Aye, my lord. So you will not overrule me to a peace.
To thine own peace. If he be returned, as checking at his voyage, and that he means no more to undertake it, I will work him to an exploit, now ripe in my device, under the which he shall not choose but fall, and for his death no wind of blame shall breathe. But even his mother shall uncharge the practice and call it accident.
I will be ruled, my lord. The rather if you could devise it so that I might be the organ.
It falls right. You have been talked of since your travel much, and that in Hamlet's hearing, for a quality wherein they say you shine.
What part is that, my lord?
In a very ribbon, in the cap of youth. 2 months since, here was a gentleman of Normandy. He made confession of you, and gave you such a masterly report for art and exercise in your defense, and for your rapier most especially, that he cried out, 'twould be a sight indeed if one could match you. And this report of his did Hamlet so envenom with his envy, he could nothing do but wish and beg your sudden coming o'er to play with him. Now, out of this.
What out of this, my lord?
Laertes, was your father dear to you, or are you like the painting of a sorrow, a face without a heart?
I ask you this.
Hamlet comes back. What would you undertake to show yourself your father's son, in deed more than in words?
To cut his throat in the church.
No place in deeds should murder sanctuaries. Revenge should have no bounds. But will you do this? Stay close within your chamber. Hamlet return shall know you are come home. We'll put on those shall praise your excellence, and set a double varnish on the fame the Frenchman gave you. Bring you in fine together, and wager on your heads. He being remiss, most generous and free of all contriving, will not peruse the foils, so that with ease, or a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a passive practice requite him for your father.
I will do it. And for that purpose I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank, so mortal that but dip a knife in it, where it draws blood, no cataplasm so rare, collected from all simples that have virtue under the moon, can save the thing from death that is but scratched withal. I'll touch my point with this contagion, that if it but gall him slightly, it may be death.
Let's further think on this. Weigh what convenience, both of time and means, may fit us to our shape. If this should fail, or if our drift look through our bad performance, 'twere better now to say. Therefore, this project should have a back or a second that might hold if this should blast in proof soft. Let me see. I have it. When in your motion you are hot and dry, as make your bouts more violent to that end, and he shall call for drink, I'll have prepared him a chalice for the nonce, whereon but sipping, if he by chance escaped your venom stuck, our purpose may hold there. Now, sweet queen.
One woe doth tread upon another's heels, so fast they follow. Your sister's drowned, Laertes. There is a willow that grows aslant a brook that shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream. There with fantastic garlands did she come, of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples, that liberal shepherds give a grosser name, but our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. There on the pendant boughs her coronet weeds clamoring to hang, an envious sliver broke when down her weedy trophies and herself fell in the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide, and mermaid-like a while they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old tunes, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and endued unto that element. But long it could not be, till that her garments heavy with their drink pulled the poor wretch from her melodious leg to muddled death.
Alas, and she was drowned.
Drowned. Drowned.
Too much of water hast thou for Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. But yet it is our trick. Nature her custom holds. Let shame say what it will, when these are gone, the woman will be out. Adieu, my lord. I have a speech of fire that fain would blaze, but that this folly doubts it.
Let's follow, Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage. This, I fear, will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow.
Thought it was very sweet to contract. Oh, the time for my behold. Methought there was nothing meet.
Has this fellow no feeling of his business that he sings at grave making?
Custom hath made in him a property of easiness.
And so, the hand of little employment hath the daintier sense.
But age with his stealing steps hath clawed me in his clutch, and hath shipped me into the land as if I had never been such.
That skull had a tongue in it could sing once. Well, the name jowls it to the ground as if it were Cain's jawbone that did the first murder. Might be the page of a politician, which this ass now wore offices. One that would circumvent God, might it not?
My lord.
Of a courtier? One that could say, "Good morrow, sweet lord. How dost thou, sweet lord? Why, this might be my lord such a one, and praise my lord such a one's horseman. He meant to beg it, might it not?
Aye, my lord.
Ain't so? And now my Lady Worms, chapless, knocked about the mazzard with a sexton's spade. Here's fine revolution, and we had a trick to see it. Did these bones cost no more than breeding than to play at loggets with them? Mine ain't to think on.
Oh, a pickaxe and a spade, and a shrouding sheet, or a pit of clay for to be made, and such a guest is meet.
I will speak to this fellow. Whose grave is this, sirrah?
Mine, sir. A pit of clay for to be made, for such a guest is
I think it be
meet.
thine indeed, for thou liest in't.
You lie out not, sir, therefore 'tis not yours. For my part, I do not lie, yet 'tis mine.
Thou dost lie in to be it and say 'tis thine. 'Tis for the dead, not for the quick, therefore thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, sir, 'twill away again from me to you.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, sir,
What woman then?
for none neither.
Who is to be buried in't?
One that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul, she's dead.
How absolute the name is. We must speak by the card, or equivocation will undo us. How long hast thou been a grave maker, sir?
Of all the days of the year, I came to it that day that a last King Hamlet o'ercame Fortinbras.
How long is that since?
Cannot you tell that? Every fool can tell that. It was that very day young Hamlet was born. He that is mad and sent into England.
Aye, Mary, why was he sent into England?
Well, because it was mad. It shall recover his wits there. If it do not, 'tis no great matter there.
Why?
It will not be noticed in him there. There the men are as mad as he.
How came he mad?
Very strangely, they say.
How? Strangely.
Faith, he was losing his wits.
Upon what ground?
Why, here in Denmark! I've been sexton here, man and boy, 30 years.
How long will the man lie on the earth that he rot?
Well, if it be not rotten before it dies, we have many pocky courses nowadays with scarce on the lay in. Will last you some 8 year or 9 year. A tanner will last you 9 year.
Why he more than another?
Why, sir, his hide is so timed with his trade, it will hold out water a great while, and your water is a sore decayer of your wholesome dead body. Oh, here's a skull that's laying you in the earth. 23 years.
Whose was it?
A wholesome mad fellow's it was. Whose do you think it was?
They have no none.
Well, pestilence on him for a mad rogue. I poured a flagon of Reynauld on my head once. This same skull, sir, was York's skull, the king's jester.
This?
In that.
Let me see. Alas, poor Erin. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He has borne me on his back 1,000 times. And now how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now? Your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar. Not one to mock your own grinning? Quite chop fall. Now get thee to my lady's chamber and tell her that a pate an inch thick to this favor must she come, make her laugh at that. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander lived to this fashion of the earth?
Even so.
And smelt so?
Even so.
To what base uses we may return, Horatio. One may not imagination trace the noble dust of Alexander till they find it stopping a bunghole.
No, true to consider, too curiously to consider so.
No faith, not a jot. To follow him thither with modesty enough and likelihood to lead it, as thus, Alexander died. Alexander was buried, Alexander returneth to dust. Dust is earth. Of earth we make loam, and why of that loam whereto he was converted might they not stop a beer barrel? Imperious Caesar, dead and turned to clay, might stop a hole to keep the wind away. Now that that earth which held the world in awe should patch a wall to expel the winter's flaw. Oh, besides, it was the king. The queen, the courtiers, who was that they followed? Such maimed rites. That betoken the course they followed did with desperate hand fordo its own life into some estate. Couch we a while and mark. What ceremony else? That is Laertes, a very noble youth, mark.
What ceremony else? Her obsequies have been as far enlarged as we have warranties. The death was doubtful but the great command o'ersways the order. She should, in ground unsanctified, have lodged till the last trumpet. For charitable prayers, shards, flints, and pebbles should be thrown on her. Yet here she is allowed her virgin rites, her maid instruments, and the bringing home of bell and burial.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done. We should profane the service of the dead to sing a requiem and such rest to her as to peace-hearted souls.
They are in the earth.
and unpolluted flesh made white as spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be when thou liest howling. What the fair Ophelia?
Sweets to the sweet. Farewell. I hoped thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to have decked, sweet maid, and not have strewed thy grave.
Trouble woe fall 10 times treble on that cursed head whose wicked deed thy most ingenious sense deprived thee of. Hold off the other while, till I have caught her once more in mine arms. Now pile your dust upon the quick and dead, till of this flat a mountain you have made, to overtop old Pelion or the sky's head of blue Olympus.
What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis? Whose phrase of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand like one devoted hearers? This is I, Hamlet the Dane. The devil take thy soul! Well, really take thy fingers from my throat, for though I am not splendid and rash, and I have something in me dangerous, but let thy wisdom bear. Hold up thy hand! Mark them asunder, and I will fight the God and receive it to my hands alone a wag! I love Ophelia! 40,000 brothers could not with all their quantity of love make up my sum! What wilt thou do for her?
He is but mad, Laertes.
For love of God,
Don't show me what thou do! Would weep, would fight, would fast, would tear thyself? Would drink up eyes to lead a crocodile? I'll do it! Dost thou come here to whine? To outface me with leaping in a grave? Be buried quick with her and so will I. If thou prate of mountains, let them throw millions of acres on us till our ground, singeing his bait against the burning zone, make also like a...
Thou art a madman!
Mouth! I'll rant as well as thou!
This is mere madness, and thus a while the fit will work on him. Anon, as patient as the female dove, his silence will sit drooping.
You, sir, what is the reason that you use me thus? I loved you ever. It is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will mew and dog will have his day.
I pray you, good Horatio, wait upon him. Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to the present push. Good Gertrude, set some watch over your son. His grave shall have a living monument. An hour of quiet shortly shall we see. Till then, in patience, our proceeding be.
The circumstance?
Remember it, my lord.
So in my heart there was a kind of fighting that would not let me sleep, rashly. And praise be rashness for it. Let us know our indiscretion sometimes serves us well when our deep plots do pall. And that should learn us there's a divinity that shapes our ends, rough hew them how we will.
That is most certain.
Up from my cabin. I see gowns scarfed about me. In the dark groped I to find out them. Had my desire. Fingered their packet, and in fine withdrew again to mine own room, making so bold my fears forgetting manners to unseal their grand commission, where I found Horatio of royal knavery. An exact command my head should be struck off.
Is it possible?
Here is the commission. Read it at more leisure. Wilt thou hear me how I did proceed?
I beseech you.
Being thus benetted round with villains, ere I could make a prologue to my brains, they had begun the play. I sat me down, devised a new commission. Wilt thou know the effect of what I wrote?
Aye, good my lord.
An earnest conjuration from the king. As England was his faithful tributary, as love between them like the palm might flourish, that on the view and knowing of these contents, without debatement further more or less, he should the bearers put to sudden death, not shriving time allowed.
How was the seal?
Why, even in that was heaven appointed. I had my father's signet in my purse, which was the model of that Danish seal, folded the writ up in the form of the other, subscribed it, gave it the impression, placed it safely, the changeling never known. Now, the next day was our sea fight, and much of that was sequent, thou knowst already.
Sir Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead.
My men, they did make love to this employment. They are not in my conscience. Their defeat is by their own insinuation grown. 'Tis dangerous when the baser nature comes between the passing fell and sensitive points of mighty opposites.
What a king is this?
Does it not think me? Stand me now upon. He that hath killed my king and whored my mother, popped in between the election and my hopes, thrown out his angle for my proper life, and with such cousin, it's not perfect conscience to quit him with this arm, and it's not to be damned to let this canker of our nature come in further evil.
It must be shortly known to them from England what is the issue of the business there.
It will be short. The interim is mine, and a man's life's no more than to say one. But I am very sorry, Horatio, the two Laertes, I forgot myself. For by the image of my cause, I see the portraiture of his. I will court his favors. But sure, the bravery of his grief did put me into a towering passion.
Peace. Who comes here?
Your lordship is right welcome back to Denmark. I humbly thank you, sir. Dost thou know this waterfly? Thy state is more gracious, 'tis a vice to know him. Sweet lord, if your lordship were at leisure, I should impart a thing to you from his majesty. I will receive it with all diligence of spirit. Sir, here is newly come to court, Laertes, believe me, an absolute gentleman, full of most excellent differences, a very soft society, and great showing, indeed. To speak feelingly of him, he is the card or calendar of gentry. You shall find in him the continent of what part a gentleman would see. Sir, his divinement suffers no perdition in you. Though I know to divide him inventorily would dizzy the arithmetic of memory, and yet would yawn either in respect of his quick sail. But, in the verity of extolment, I hold him to be a soul of great art, and his infusion of such dearth and rareness, as to make true diction of him inseparable as his mirror. And who else could trace him? His umbrage, nothing more. Your lordship speaks most infallibly of him. The concernancy, sir. Why do we wrap the gentleman in our more raw breath? Sir! To what imports the nomination of this gentleman? Of Laertes.
His purse is empty already. All his golden words are spent.
Of him, sir. I know you are not ignorant. I would you did, sir. But faith, if you did, sir, it would not much approve me. Well, sir, you are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is. I dare not confess to that, lest I should compare with him in excellence. But to know a man well would to know himself. I mean, sir, for his weapon. But in the imputation laid on him by him, in his need, he's unfellowed. What's his weapon? A rope and dagger. That's two of his weapons. Well? The king, sir, hath laid that if dozen passes between yourself and him, he shall not exceed you 3 hits. And it would come to immediate trial if your lordship would vouchsafe the answer. How if I answer no? I mean, my lord, the opposition of your person in trial. Sir, I will walk here in the hall. If it please his majesty, 'tis the breathing time of day with me. Let the foils be brought, the gentleman willing, and the king hold his purpose. I will win for him, and I can. If not, I gain nothing but my shame in the outcast. Shall I re-deliver you e'en so? To this effect, after what flourish your nature will. I commend my duty to your honor. Yours. He does well to commend it himself. There are no tongues else for sir.
This slapwing runs away with a shell on his head.
Comply with his dug before he sucked it. Thus has he, and many others of the same bevy that I know the drossy age dotes on, only got the tune of the time, an outward habit of encounter, a kind of yeasty collection that carries them through and through the most fanned and winnowed opinions, but do but blow them to their trial, the bubbles are out.
You will lose this wager, my lord.
I do not think so. Since he went into France, I have been in continual practice. I will win at the odds. But thou wouldst not think how ill all's here about my heart. But 'tis no matter.
Nay, good my lord.
'Tis but foolery. And it is such a kind of gain-giving as would perhaps trouble a woman.
If your mind is like anything, obey it. I will forestall their repair hither and say you are not fit.
Not a whit. We defy argument. There's a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. A readiness is all. Since no man knows aught of what he leaves, what is to leave betimes, let be.
Take this hand from me.
Give me your pardon, sir, I've done you wrong. But pardon it as you are a gentleman. What I have done that might your honor, nature, and exception roughly awake, I here proclaim was madness. Was Hamlet wrong, Laertes? Never Hamlet. If Hamlet from himself be ta'en away, and when he's not himself does wrong, Laertes, Hamlet does it not, Hamlet denies it. Sir, in this audience, let my disclaiming from a purposed evil free me so far in your most generous thoughts that I have shot my arrow o'er the house and hurt my brother.
I am satisfied in nature, whose motive in this case should stir me most to my revenge. But in my terms of honor I stand aloof, and will no reconcile until by some elder masters of known honor I have a voice and precedent of peace to keep my name on board. But till that time I do receive your offered love like love and will not wrong it.
I embrace it freely. And will this brother's wager frankly play? Come, give us the foils. Come, one for me. I'll be your foil, Laertes. In mine ignorance, your skill shall, as a star in the darkest night, strike fiery off indeed.
You mock me, sir?
No, by this hand.
Give them the foils, young Osric. Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager?
Very well, my lord. Your grace hath laid the odds on either side.
I do not fear it. I have seen you both, but since he is bettered, we have therefore odds, huh?
This one is too heavy. Let me see another.
This likes me well. These foils have all the length. My lord.
7 stoops of wine upon that table. If Hamlet give the first or second hit, or quit in answer to the third exchange, let all the battlements their ordnance fire. The king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath. And in the cup, an union shall he throw, richer than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's crown have worn. Give me the cups. And let the kettle to the trumpet speak, the trumpet to the cannoneer without, the cannons to the heavens to earth. Now, the king drinks to Hamlet. Come, begin! And you, the judges, bear a wary eye. Stay, give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health.
Give him the cup. Said if I'll play this
my napkin, rub thy brow. The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Good, madam. Do not drink, Gertrude.
I will, my lord. I pray you pardon me.
It is the poison to come. It is too late.
Come. Let me wipe my face.
Hello, what is it?
I do not think it.
And yet 'tis almost against my conscience.
Come, Laertes, for the third. You do but dally. I pray you pass with your best violence. I fear you make a wanton of me.
Save so. Come on.